All right, motherfucker. Let's not make this a black and white thing. All right. Let's just let's make it a basketball thing. Okay. Andre Iggy, aka Andre Iguodala, had came out and basically stated that Larry Bird was better than Magic and could do uh, much more than him. And I agree. Now, a lot of people are going to look at the accomplishments of Magic and everything, and he does have the edge on Larry, okay, in terms of accomplishments, things of that nature. However, one thing that you can't deny about Larry Bird is, in terms of his skill set, he could do what Magic could do, plus a lot much more. You know, people forget that Larry Bird was MVP 3 consecutive years in a row. I think people forget that. Okay. Now, what people are going to look at is the team success, which is very important because I'm sorry about that. Magic did have better team success, and if you want to look at longevity in terms of health wise, both of them were robbed of longevity to a certain extent, especially when you consider the situation that happened with the HIV situation concerning Magic Johnson, and then of course with Larry Bird and his back problems. And I want to also note that it wasn't just back problems that Larry Bird was experiencing. He had a whole lot of other injuries too. But don't get it twisted. I don't want people taking this out of context when I say this. Magic was phenomenal, and it's just that when you think of Larry Bird, he could kill you not only at the end of the game with his shooting, but he could also kill you with his with his uh playmaking. Okay. Um and what's up, Stephen Green? Hey, that's your opinion. But if we're basing it purely on skill, Larry Bird was hands down better. And I know some people are looking at it at the black white thing, but I'm not looking at that shit. Listen, that's why I have who I have at my starting small forward. I got Larry. I got Larry. A lot of people were more skilled than Magic Johnson. Okay, a lot of people were more skilled than Magic Johnson. Isaiah Thomas was more skilled than Magic Johnson. Okay, he was a better shooter than Magic Johnson. Okay, but when we talk about Larry Bird, he could hit you from the mid range. Larry Bird had post moves. Larry Bird Larry Bird can move without the ball. Now, maybe he wasn't as neither one of them were like lightning fast or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But Larry Bird was a little slower than Magic, of course, but he could still handle the rock. People forget that Larry Bird had a knack for attacking the rim too. Now he, I don't want people to take this and run with it when I say that. Larry Bird could get to the basket if he wanted to at times, and he was creative too. He was more creative than Magic. Now, if you want to talk about a playmaking style, no look passes, being able to find your ass on the dime, not creating so many turnovers, things of that nature, then of course Magic being able to bring the best out of his teammates. Uh, Magic, I give him a slight edge, but Larry could do the same thing. because people forget that Larry could fill up a stat sheet. And then another thing that I think another point that people are missing too is how incredible of a rebounder that Larry Bird was. Okay, Larry Bird. Everybody always talks about Parrish and McHale and some of the other guys that did the dirty work. Larry Bird didn't mind doing the dirty work. You know why? That's why his body had failed him, because he was diving on floors, diving in the chairs, uh, you know, getting on the ground when he needed to, getting in there banging when he needed to. He wasn't no soft motherfucker by any means. And that's not saying anything about Magic, because Magic wasn't soft anyways. He'll square up with you in a heartbeat. But when we're talking about just a total package, especially on the offensive end, Larry was, and he was a better. I would say I would give him an edge on defense. Now he wasn't a lockdown defender. He wasn't a great one-on-one defender, but he was always a great team defender. Okay. Shoot. That's your opinion. If he's not in your top five, that's your opinion. Has Magic had 3 consecutive MVPs in the regular season? Nah, but Bird did. Okay. Then on top of that, Larry was already a better shooter from the mid range too. Come on, let's get real. See, who was more skilled, uh, Kevin McHale or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Kareem was. Who would you take out of Parrish and James Worthy? I'll take James, big game James, any day. Okay? And that's not taking anything away from them, but they have far more athletic players than Larry. I'm sorry about that. Than the Boston Celtics did. And people just think that I'm talking about this shit because of the finals and everything. The reason why I'm talking about this shit is because Andre Iguodala had came out and said that Larry Bird was a better player. He was a better player, but if we're talking about accomplishments wise and accolades, things of that nature, then of course you got to give the edge to Magic. And I don't have Magic, for some of y'all that don't know, I don't have Magic starting in my starting five. So if you're mad about that shit, oh well. Stay in your feelings, man. I don't give a fuck. But I got Bird starting as my small forward. Okay? I got Bird starting as my small forward. The reason why is because if you look at my roster and you look at my starting five, who I have in my starting five, all of those guys, I would say with the exception of Dennis Rodman, you could put the ball in their hands and they'll go to work and they'll get you a bucket when needed to. All of them can pretty much play make. All of them can pretty much play defense to a certain extent, with the exception of Larry Bird. Well, we're not talking about that, but it's hands down it's Larry Bird. Michael Jordan said that Larry Bird was a better trash talker than anybody. What's up with it, True Viking Queen? I'll see you in the building. Look, I'm trying to tell you, all right. If we're going neck and neck in terms of fundamental skill, it's no way. Now, ball handling, of course, people are gonna give the edge to Magic, but who handled the rock the majority of the time? It was Magic Johnson. That was his position. He was a point guard. But Larry Bird could play the point forward, and I don't think he gets enough credit for being able to be one of the ones to revolutionize that small forward position in terms of being able to do much, much more. Now, of course, guys like Grant Hill, he took it to another level. Scottie Pippen, he took it to another level. Guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Being able to play that position. But see, this comparison is so is so great. You know why? Because it reminds me of a comparison between Penny and Grant Hill. Because Penny Hardaway, he played the point guard position. Grant Hill, he played the small forward position or the three. But yet and still, they both handled the rock. They both filled up the stat sheet. They both uh, were athletic, which is the opposite of Bird and Magic or whatever. That's not to say that they couldn't get up or anything like that. They just weren't high flyers or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But Magic Johnson, occasionally he'll come through the lane and dunk on your ass. You know, and we gotta understand that. Look, it doesn't take anything away from Magic, but you gotta understand if if you give Larry a James Worthy, or you give Larry a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, you you give Larry a Walton in his prime, he probably would have had more rings. Probably would have been more accomplished. But people got to understand that when Larry was coming in, I mean, he had to come in and pretty much bring Boston back. Uh, what you dig? Magic was blessed to be in a situation where he came in. He came in with Kareem, you know, and that's listen. I don't. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that that's stacking the deck or no shit like that, because that's not what it was. They did that through the draft. Kareem had came there, and he was already there a couple of years prior to Magic being there. And but Magic was, I will say this, Magic was the reason that the Lakers started to seek success because he bought in early. He bought into the style that was that Jack had brought there in terms of Showtime and revolutionizing that style of play. But I'm always taking Larry Bird. Okay, I'm always taking Larry Bird, clutch factor. Uh, he's very cerebral too. He knows how to get under the skin of the opponent too. Look, I know everybody's on this Draymond Green shit. You know what I'm saying? Do I like the antics of Draymond Green? No, but I'm gonna tell you like this: he does nothing different than what Patrick Beverly does. Patrick Beverly, he gets up under the skin of opponents and shit like that. Look, man, when you played in the '80s, I know everybody's talking about he would have whooped Cornbread would have whooped his ass and all this other bullshit. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Hey, everybody was talking shit back in the days, and I like the fact that it's getting chippy out there. I don't want to like you. I don't want to stand next to you. I don't want to talk about dinner. I don't want to talk about drinking Hennessy with you afterwards. I don't want to talk about fucking hoes with you afterwards. I don't want to talk about none of that shit. I'm finna cut your throat right now. That's what I'm finna do. I don't like anything about you when we're in between that lines. I don't give a fuck if I play with you on the USA squad. You're not my friend. Get the fuck off me. That's the attitude that you're supposed to have, but everybody's so sensitive. Oh, why is he playing dirty and all this other stuff? Shit, hit that motherfucker back. That's what you're supposed to do. But everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, come on. Don't be so nice to him. You're not going to win ball games like that. And you understand where you may not like it from Draymond Green, but he's like, fuck all this some sort of way. But think about it. If it was Marcus Smart doing the same thing, guess what? Everybody would be on his or whatever. Everybody would be on Marcus Smart about how dirty he plays, or if it was somebody else, doing this or doing that. Look, you got to be tough-minded. Both of these guys want to win. I like the fact that they're not getting along. I like the fact that they're getting in each other's faces. That's what the fuck you supposed to do. Who wanted more? Everybody wants to see, being nice and how's the fam and all that other shit. That's what's wrong with the NBA now. There's no fucking competition. And look, I don't like look that whole shit where Draymond Green had got into it with Jaylen Brown and all that other shit. Hey, or him pushing him, I guess running into Grant Williams or some shit like that. I mean, look, there was far, 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 far more shit going on in the '80s. There was far more shit going on in the '80s. They were clotheslining Jordan in the air. They were fucking clotheslining, each other when they come to the paint. We got to stop all this. Oh yeah, well, come on, man, let them breathe and all this other bullshit. Ama Udoka likes this shit, and I bet you he was chewing their ass out, being like, "Look, why didn't you step up? Nah, that's what you want. You supposed to go back and go look at the championship games in the '80s. It wasn't all this. Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna help you up and all this other shit. Shit, man, motherfuckers will indomitable sue your ass and step right over your ass. Some of them motherfuckers will step on your head and shit. And I'm not saying it always has to be like that all the time, but this is what makes the competition. This is what you want. Everybody wants some sort of entertainment, right? But y'all complain, oh man, well the league is washed up. They're not doing anything, man. I don't want to see anybody play no more, man. No, 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 no. And then y'all crying and complain, oh well, he playing too dirty. Well, motherfucker, which one do you want? Which one do you want? You want them to sit out there and be Barbie dolls and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Make a kin. They got a fucking tropical shirt on, or do you want some dogs that's gonna get out there and fight for you and get the win? And that's another thing about Larry Bird too that I like too. He didn't mind getting dirty. Hey, he could be pretty, or he could be ugly. He could make you miss. Go look at his post moves. Everybody talks about Luka, how he was making multiple motherfuckers miss in the post and all of that other stuff. Larry Bird had sensational footwork in the post. He had sensational footwork, and he wasn't fast. He had sensational. He had one of the best triple threats. And for those of y'all that don't know what a triple threat movement is, go ahead and go look it up. That means you're in a position where you can either dribble, pass, or shoot the ball, or dribble. You could dribble, drive, penetrate. You could. You're in a position where you could do multiple things. Um, but we're trying to get the league back to what it was. Uh, yes, and see that's what lost. Damn, bro. Yeah, everybody's friends with everybody. No competition. I guess time. Yeah, we got to cry about fouls and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Grant Williams is old school. You see how them guys was going back and forth? I love shit like that. I love shit like that. That's what it needs. Listen, I'm not mad at Draymond. I'm not mad at that motherfucker, man. I'm not mad at him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, is he up in there putting up a dub and all this other shit, a double double and all that other bullshit? No. But you need a motherfucking nigga like that on your fucking squad. That because from jump start, he was doing everything. He was setting the tone early from on the defensive end. You know, and people ask me all the time, man, you'll take Draymond on your team? Yeah, I'll take Draymond on my team. I'll take Pat Beverly on my team. Get that motherfucker Thibault out of there. I want a motherfucker that's not, okay, Thibault, he's scared to shoot the ball. At least the motherfucker Patrick Beverly gonna shoot that motherfucker. At least that motherfucker Draymond gonna shoot that motherfucker, even if it's an ugly ass shot or not. Al Horford got an ugly ass shot, but guess what? That motherfucker going in. I'll take that motherfucker in a heartbeat, nigga. We could get in that Hall of Fame argument if you want to. He ain't no first ballot or no shit like that, but he gonna get in there. You know what I'm saying? Has he been doing what he did towards the beginning, like the defensive player of the year years that he was? No, but he still got his mind or whatever. Is he gonna lead a team and all that other bullshit? No, he ain't gonna do that shit. That's not what he gonna do. But I want him in the doghouse with me. And hey, KD proved that motherfucker right. With or without you, we still gonna win. With or without you, we still gonna be championship. You know what's up? What's up with it? You said, I mean, look, bro. It's like this, man. Uh, I wasn't gonna talk about the game too much, but Boston, Boston is they're frustrating. They're at the point now where somebody got to bring some toughness. It's like if we're not if we're not gonna beat you by just fully skill and length and athleticism, we could beat you by getting into your mind and getting in under your skin, just like y'all doing because they're getting under their skin too as well. Boston is. They're frustrating now. And everybody's talking about, oh yeah, this player's dirty. Man, look, everybody is gonna do some little cheap shot shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And look, other players got to play better too. You know what I'm saying? Look, you missing all these motherfucking layups. Andrew Wiggins missed like at least 3, 4 layups. I don't want to hear this stupid shit, man. Come on, man. You gotta pay attention to the game. Then on top of that, you gotta understand that Klay Thompson playing like ass. That's my motherfucking man's on Golden State. But he playing like shit, man. He had a couple of key shots and stuff like that, but he playing like shit. But he just got to play better, and it was all Steph, and he came through right now. He's proven to people that he wants to get that motherfucking Finals MVP, which he probably will get if he keeps on playing the ball that he playing. But I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. I'm taking Larry Bird in a heartbeat. All right. I get hit with this shit daily. Me and my cousin, we go at it constantly. Oh, why you got Magic? Why you got Larry Bird over or why you got Magic? I mean, why you got Isaiah over Magic? It's simple. Isaiah did more with less. Isaiah was 6 foot. Magic Johnson was 6'9". And people like, oh well, wouldn't that make you slower and all that other stuff? No, it doesn't make you slower. Actually, you could see a lot more. You could do a lot more. When you 6'9", really it was like 6'8". When you 6'10", like Larry Bird and stuff like that, you could see the top. You could see pretty much everything. It's kind of like being in a big rig truck. You could see in people's cars. You could see what they're doing. You could see inside what they're doing. You can see the babies playing with the tablets and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the same thing as a basketball player. If you 6'5", 6'6", that's why like coaches they love guys that are like 6'6", 6'7". Like they love Penny because he was good and he could handle the rock as a point guard and stuff like that. Still see over the top and everything and use his length and stuff like that. Yes, you got guys that are 6'2", like John Stockton is 6 foot and all that other stuff, but you got to be dynamic, man. You got to really know what you're doing. And Isaiah Thomas was that, like him or hate him. And he was playing with Bill Laimbeer in comparison to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So yes, I have Isaiah and I got Larry Bird on my starting five. Everybody wants to get in their feelings about that shit, man. Look, it don't take nothing away from Magic. I know what Magic was, and a lot of people don't know. I used to like Magic. I like Magic more than probably everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Even besides the fact that he couldn't wasn't that known as a shooter and all that shit. But the more as you get older and then you actually really start playing the sport and you actually really start knowing about basketball and stuff like that, you'll appreciate a guy like a Magic. I'm sorry about that, like a Isaiah Thomas. You'll appreciate Larry Bird. And guess who Kevin Durant studied? He studied Larry Bird. You know why? Because Larry Bird was his size. He was about 6'10". You know what I'm saying? And he was a shooter from the mid range and 3-pointer. Larry Bird would occasionally come in there in transition and dunk on you. He'll come in the lane and dunk on you. He'll surprise you. Larry Bird was doing all types of trick shots behind the backboard. You know what I'm saying? Coming in there in his warm up jacket, icing the 3-pointers and shit like that. Man, he wasn't the first big. Karl Anthony Towns wasn't the first big man. Larry Bird was big too, and he's still coming out there lights out. He wasn't no center or no shit like that, but he still came out there and still iced the 3-point contest. Not that that has nothing to do with it, but it just goes to show you the type of personality that he had. He wanted to kill you. Magic wanted to kill you too, but Bird was just so much more of a savage. But what robbed him was them back injuries, man. You said stop crying about the 80s and 90s, man. It's never going back. Listen, nobody crying about the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? But like y'all crying now about, oh, why are these guys getting physical and shit like that? Look, I'm I know how to adjust. I know how to adjust to shit. You know what I'm saying? But see, some of y'all don't know how to adjust to shit. It like when the nigga tells y'all like a nigga that, I think I forget who said like Kevin Durant had came out and basically stated that Michael Jordan would dominate in this area. Oh, y'all can't handle that shit. But everybody has said, I mean, Jordan ran a fucking what 4.3. Dog, he was fast and he was quick, and he would be able to adjust to what's going on now. We can't sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, man, stop crying about the '80s and '90s." Look at nigga, I don't the '90s. Fuck, take the '90s out of the equation. The '90s didn't have shit on the '80s. Let's take that shit out of the equation. Like, what I mean? Like for real. But then everybody get mad at Patrick Beverly for for him jawing and talking trash and getting under the skin of an opponent. Everybody gets mad at motherfucking Draymond Green because he John talking shit getting under the skin of the opponent. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets mad at all these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, that's playing physical. Now dirty play like the Morris brothers and shit like that. I don't appreciate shit like that if you're trying to get people hurt. Now you turning into goddamn Bill Laimbeer and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna end a nigga's career and shit like that. But like good physical play, you know what I'm saying? If it's a good physical, no harm intended foul, you gotta be able to live with that shit, and you had to be able to get up. And if you keep on coming to the rack like you goddamn John Morant and shit like that, They weren't gonna let you continuously do that shit back in them days. Or they weren't gonna. These games, they gotta be competitive, man. That's what y'all want to see. But see, check this out, Warren. If if the game is continuously a blowout with no competition, nobody going back and forth to each other, guess what? Then we all be complaining. Oh well, man. If LeBron James was in there, man, guess what? It'd be a lot of competition. If this player was in there, man, it'd be a lot of competition. No, I like what we got right now. These are a great matchup right now. Okay, and when they go to Boston, guess what? It's still gonna be chippiness. People gonna boo Draymond Green. People gonna boo whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. Oh man, man, how come man such and such ain't man? Oh man, why you fouling them so hard? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I get at y'all later.